Hello, welcome to the When I Have Spare Time podcast. My name is Frank, and I'll be sitting here talking to you for a few minutes. As usual, we're in clothes. We're going to react to my favorite LOLcow. Um, I have the mic on this time, so let's react to her pearls of wisdom.
To Ask Anna. Today I'm going to be talking about how to have an abundance mindset. Um,
Now, an abundance mindset, that's a word that has more than two syllables, so I don't think she even knows what it means, but we'll see. We'll see. Remember, she's a stripper. Pearls of wisdom here.
I'm going to mainly be focusing on what I've gone through in this last week. So I've been around people who have looked at my job as something with an expiration date.
Okay, being a stripper, I mean, call me crazy, but yeah, that job does have an expiration date. It's like you don't see like whatever 60-year-old strippers, and she's like, well, I'm just 2 more years away from retirement. Like, being a stripper is not a lifetime job. It's not a job you have for the rest of your life. So yeah, it does have an expiration date. Looking at you, you're probably one sandwich away from that expiration date. Okay? Anyway.
And I've also been struggling with if I should stay in the city that I am in or if I should leave. So there's those two things, and then I also wanted to talk about living within your means, just because I've seen some things that have.
Okay, she doesn't live within her means because if you remember the last video, the reason why she is a stripper is because she couldn't afford her lifestyle and the place she lives in. So she doesn't know how to live within her means. So why is she giving advice on this? This makes no sense. But anyway,
Anyway, so the abundance mindset. So I spoke to somebody Saturday night who had been at my club for 5 years. Reaper's eating right now. I don't know if you can see him. He's being a little terror. I actually just took him to the vet and he got his rabies shot. Finally, and
I wonder if she's just saying that or if she actually went to the vet and got a rabies shot. I don't know.
they actually took like I think it was $80 off of my final bill. And that's the importance of looking cute.
She looks like a soccer mom. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's because she's a stripper. It takes a couple of points off of her. Because like any let's say man of self worth, a man of value, is not going to be into this chick because she's a stripper. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Okay, so she looks, once again, looks like a drug addict. She looks like if she had a man, he'd be a drug dealer or like a pimp. Like she just gives off that vibe of, I have a high body count. I can't get a good man type of girl. She looks like an OnlyFans chick basically. But I mean, she's a sex worker. She's a stripper. So anyway,
And living within your means too. Because if I showed up with like a bunch of Gucci, and if I had like all these name brand shit things, like they wouldn't have done that for me. So sometimes it's more advantageous for you to not look well, like look nice, but not look wealthy. But this girl, she's been there 5 years, and
and she's wearing a lot of
in my
makeup.
opinion, she hadn't done the things that she needed to do to make herself more money. Um, yeah, but she was complaining about it, and it was really frustrating because this week has been a great week for me, like one of my best weeks I've had since I've worked there. And just to hear somebody talk about like the fear, like focusing on the fear part, like, oh, we could get fired for this, like, oh, what if like people stop coming in and then we don't get paid? Oh, I'm a stripper. If y'all don't know, hello. Um,
Um, I'm pretty sure, uh, like, there's always going to be people going into a strip club. There, I mean, I've known guys every time they get paid, they'll blow half their paycheck at a strip club. I mean, that's just how it is. You know, like there's just certain things that are always going to make money. Like people are always going to buy cigarettes. People are always going to buy alcohol. People are going to always buy coffee. People are going to always buy sex. So that's just how it is.
and she was focusing on all of that when like you should be focusing on, oh wow, like I love my employees so much. They love me. I'm such an asset to this place. The next person who comes in, that could be like, he could make my whole night. She could make my whole night. Like, that's the stuff that you should be focusing on. And it did bother me because she had been there for 5 years at the same place.
Do women go to strip clubs and pay for women to give them lap dances? I mean, it's possible. I mean, I'm sure like 1% of people that frequent strip clubs are women. You know, because I don't know, whatever. And what you should be focusing on, if you've been a stripper for 5 years, what you should really be focusing on is how can I get my life back in order so that I'm not a stripper. There's got to be a better job, just just for your mindset, you know, like being a stripper, it really warps your view of reality. So I don't know. It's no job I would want anyone I cared about to have.
And that's just a long time. A long, long time. And she was talking about how, like, oh, I should just go get another job at this point because I'd be making more money that way.
You would.
Like I said, I feel like she had not done the things to herself physically to make her more money. So I think that was a factor. But it really frustrated me because I spent like this whole last weekend thinking of that conversation and then thinking like, oh shit, I don't want to be just like her. Like, if I can't like do this forever and I'm familiar with all the clubs here and like it was just like a very lack mindset of
Okay, you can't do this forever because you already look 30 right now. Uh, you're basically, when you're a stripper, you're selling your youthful looks. You're selling lust. And so it's a lot easier to do that between, at your peak. That's, teens to 25. That's like the sweet spot. So yeah, it's going to be like in 5 years, you're probably going to be the person who checks the IDs at the strip club. You're not going to be a dancer because like once again, you look like you're one sandwich away from like being fat, basically. But anyway,
what if I run out of clubs? What if like, excuse me, I lost my job, which is not going to happen. I'm employed at a bunch of different places, but it just like, you start going down that train. And then I was like, oh my God, I should just leave Atlanta. I should just move to Las Vegas or move to New York or go to Miami or go somewhere else when really that was not the issue at all. I guess it's going to be like a therapy for me, but I'm sure other people are going through the same thing. But me wanting to move cities was not about the job, was not about the money. Like I was fooling myself into thinking it was, but really it was just I've never been at a place, at least in the last like 2 years, longer than a year. And now that I've been in Atlanta for I think 9 months. It's like I have this itch. It's like, oh shit, what if like things could be better for me in another city? Everything's not happening for me.
Well, I mean, if you want to be the best whore you can be, I would, I guess, move to Vegas. I mean, because that's what she is. So move there, or you can move to New York, because like the bigger the city, of course, the bigger the crowd, or just the more customers you're gonna have, and in her case, the more people she could sleep with. So yeah.
As fast as I want it to, I must be in the wrong place. When really, I'm not. Like, my life is great. Like, I
Your life isn't great. You're a stripper. Come on. Anyway,
have a little creek outside my window. All the trees are blooming. There's a bunch of flowers. Like, I have my first big girl apartment. I
sounds like cope. That's a lot of cope.
have my baby. Like, I have a steady source of income. I love my jobs. Like, my life is great. And just me thinking that because I'm not going as fast on my timeline as I should be, that everything's going to shit when it's not. So the abundance mindset is so important because you really are one opportunity from changing your life. Like, one opportunity, and you don't know where that's going to come from. And me thinking that if I moved to another city, things would be better, like, that's really stupid because in reality, I could just keep posting these videos and then make an audience, and then I could move to Alaska and be fine. So the abundance mindset is really important, and sometimes like the scarcity thing is just the trauma response. Like,
What the hell is she talking about? I swear to God, the last 45 seconds she didn't say one thing. But okay. Okay.
because that girl could be making so much more money. Like if she put more effort into her outfits, if she had a better attitude, because she's negative. Like if all of that was like refreshed, she would be making really good money. So there's that. Ooh, living within your means.
You don't do that though. You don't do that.
Okay, I'm gonna use somebody as an example.
You can't use yourself because you
And I
don't.
love him and I respect him, but I do not agree with what he's done, and I'm just going to share it.
I bet you any amount of money it's not her father. Because I bet you she doesn't have one. Or if she has one, he left her life when she was 6.
Um, I have a friend who bought a car right before he quit his job, and then has just been traveling for like the last month, and then just posting about it. And I just don't agree with it. Like, we had talked before, and he had told me about some of his personal issues, and I told him what I thought, and I'm not always right, but at least from an outsider perspective, I feel like I'm right most of the time.
You're a stripper.
If it's like about my own problems, I'm usually wrong, but for other people's problems, I feel like I have a pretty good perspective. And he didn't do any of those things, and his whole thing was like, I'm gonna buy a new car so I can like force myself to make the payments. I don't agree with that. I've had my car for since I was 16. I'm 23 now, and it's I think 9 years old now, and she's great. Like, she's in great shape. I always get her maintenance done. Like, she is.
I still can't get over that she's 23. Like, she looks 33. Like, life has been rough for this person, and she's giving advice. I'm sorry. I just find it ridiculous that is. And yeah, I know. Like in real life, I've known a stripper or two, because it's L.A. and a lot of college girls do that as a job. but the ones I knew were doing it because they couldn't afford college, so they're like, you know, I have to be a stripper, whatever. Um, and so like their mindset wasn't I'm a stripper. Their mindset was I'm a college student or I'm trying to be a nurse, so I have to do this to pay for it because I couldn't get a scholarship. But I don't know. I just a person with the mindset like her who wants to be a stripper for the rest of their life because they're living outside of their means, but yet tries to give advice about living within your means. You know, I just don't care what this person thinks. Like this person is a joke. Anyway,
Fine. And I want a new car, but I would not put myself in that situation. Like, I would not do that. Like, I think it's so important to save your money because you don't know what's going to happen. And especially to, like, get the car and then quit your job and then hope that, like, you're going to get another job, like, really, really quick. Like, I'm sure you will, abundance mindset, but it just, I just don't agree with that at all. You should be living within your means. And
but you don't live within your means. That's why you're a stripper. I don't. She's a walking contradiction, or I'm sorry, a stripping contradiction.
then, like, making more money so then you can date me. I'm just kidding.
She's not kidding. She's not kidding. Money is her. Remember the first video we did about her. She was just talking about men and money. Okay, like when she sees a man, she sees a a piggy bank. So anyway,
What was the other thing? My job having an expiration date.
it does.
It does.
No shit.
And it does. Being a performer in anything, like, I'm sure it takes a toll. This is what I want for the rest of my life, though. I want to be a singer, which is why I've been, like, struggling. Like, should I be in Atlanta or should I move to New York, LA, like, all that? I'm not going to move. I'm staying here. Like, if people can make it online, then I should be focused on making my apartment as comfortable as possible, filming as much content, and then getting my little stripper money and then putting it into that. But the job having an expiration date, yes, like, that's not gonna happen forever. And I think, I believe I could do this until I'm 30.
You look 30 now. So you think you can be a stripper for the next 7 years? I mean, well, I guess you could, but like, is someone gonna hire you? Is a club gonna hire you? Or the customers that come in, are they gonna give you money? Or like, are you gonna be the girl that works there at a Tuesday afternoon for the lunch specials? You know?
Late 30s.
No, no.
So that's like 15 extra years.
You're
I don't want to do that.
you're insane. You're
I
insane.
think I could.
No, no,
I'd probably get a regular job though.
no shit, lady.
Anyways, not the point. Point is, it has an expiration date, and you're supposed to be using this and really anything as your next step up. Like, I don't think you should ever settle, and I am contradicting myself because I just talked about wanting to stay in Atlanta. I think you should settle at some points, right? Like, Reaper, I settled for him. I'm not shopping around for another dog. I'm very happy with him. I'm not shopping around for another apartment. Happy with this one. I'm happy with the city, and it's like, I'm gonna go back to the city thing too. The Las Vegas in the summer it's like 110 degrees. I could not survive that, especially not with the dry heat. I come from Florida. When I lived in Texas, my skin would just break out in just like little bumps just because of how dry it was because I was used to the humidity. Now that I'm in Georgia, I have no breakouts at all. My skin is.
Or maybe it's because you got a better meth dealer and he's not cutting it with battery acid. I mean, that's I'm just guessing.
Like, naturally moisturized. I like wear a lot of lotion anyways, but that doesn't happen. If I did move to New York, I would not survive the cold. I could move down to Miami, but I can't do the keeping up with the Jonas culture. I just can't. I don't like being around it. I'm from Tampa, and it's like a smaller version of Miami, and I was around it then. I don't want to do it again. So it's like you have to like go through all these things in your mind Because for me, it's just like, oh shit, things aren't working out as fast as I want them to. I should just leave. When I shouldn't. Like, things are great. Things are great. You just have bad days.
I bet you. I bet you, like in 2 years, she'll be doing porn. Like, not OnlyFans, but like actually working for like a real company, like just doing porn. Because I just look at her. I mean, anyway.
It's not a bad life, it's a bad day. Um, the job having an expiration date. It's like anything in life. You have to prepare for the next thing. Like, nothing's just an answer. It's just a little thing on your journey, and you gotta keep going. So, I don't know. The girl who's been there for 5 years, you should be using that to supply your income so that you can pursue your dreams and the things you want to do. That it should not be a dream to just let me shut up. I mean, it's
Her goal is, and she just said it, is to be a stripper for the next 15 years of her life. Why are you taking? Why would anyone with like above room temperature IQ take advice from this person? If her goal is to be a stripper for the next 15 years of her life, seriously, are you kidding me? You got to be kidding me.
that's some people's dream, but I don't think people like come out of the womb doing that. Anyways, I think it should just be something to supply your income for your dreams, so you can do things that are more fulfilling. Um, that's everything though. I don't have anything else. Thanks for watching. I feel like this one was probably more helpful than this wasn't really psychology based. This was more.
Wait. You're a stripper, not a psychologist. So what the fuck? This is main character syndrome right here. Okay, come on. Stop it, lady. And you got to be lying about your age.
More therapeutic base. Reapers here. Say hello. 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 Boop. Bye. Welcome.
Jesus Christ. Okay, that. Listen, I don't get it. I don't. For those of you who are fans of the When I Have Spare Time podcast, I've done about 700 of these. Granted, YouTube is taking down a lot, so that's why this is like number 600 something. But anyway, anytime I give advice, I always go do your own research because I'm not a professional. Blah 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 blah. Okay, but the a person who's a stripper giving life advice, that is someone who is living a horrible life. The last person you should take life advice from is a stripper. Okay? Because think think of think of jobs as a reflection of a person. So, I'm going to categorize all this to regular 9 to 5 jobs. Regular job, just a regular 9 to 5 job. It doesn't matter what it is, but that's a job, okay? And then take the other jobs like stripper, porn star, you're a hitman, just like, just like the jobs that like the derelicts of society would take. That says a lot about a person because being a stripper, there are so many more. There's just so many options. And then think about it. If she would just act right, she could just find a man and just have a man take care of her. I mean, wouldn't that be the easiest thing to do? Is just if she's really 23, which I don't believe, but if she would just like lose like 20 pounds, lose the attitude, stop wearing cake face makeup, stop getting tattoos, she could find a decent guy who would be more than willing to take care of her. And I'm sure there's plenty of guys right now who would love to take care of this chick. So, she's obviously just making bad life decisions. But anyway, I've said enough. You guys have a good one. Talk to you later. Peace.